Hey everybody, Aaron here. Welcome back to, I don't even want to call this a review. I'll be honest with you guys and girls, I really don't want to call this a review. I'm going to be talking about Taboo Tattoo episode 9. This is going to be a rant. I'll just say that right now. This is a rant. It's going to be this one image. I found this image to be hilarious because honestly this was how I felt watching this episode. This show, honest to God, is a travesty. You know, I don't care, like, animation-wise, we'll talk about that all day. Animation-wise, action-wise, it is great. It has some of the nicest scenes for it. It is awesome. That is still to be expected of this show. That is what I'm keeping with watching this. It's the only reason I'm watching this at this point. Story-wise, everything else-wise, lore-wise, out the window. I honestly hate this show. This is episode 9. You know, last episode I had some praise for it. I was talking about how I really was hoping that we would see some change in our main characters. We would see some, you know, change because of what happened in the series of events that made this show from comedic to more serious toned. And then this episode came out and I was like, wow, you can clearly tell it's rushing around. There are a billion and one things happening in the course of 23 minutes of a show that it's not that I per se am confused by any of it. I understand, you know, BB got, he went to the organization when he was first started, and he was with them. He was working with them closely. But the thing was, is he noticed something was kind of shady on about the whole organization, the Empire. And so what he ends up doing for them is that he's working with them, you know, going on the missions that they delve into. He learns about their various, you know, things that they're working on, which is like human experimentations where they're actually fusing people and fusing taboos together to make people into like these unstoppable, you know, war machines. But in many ways, it's causing them to lose their minds and go crazy and just go insane in many ways. Now, he tries to take it down after that when he realizes that, you know, this place is not good. So he runs away, and that's where we start, you know, seeing probably when next week's episode is going to talk about, you know, the later part where he meets Izzy and all that. But this episode was so garbage. Like, they had just a slew of images. I don't even know if I want to call it a story. It's just a slew of things going from place to place to place to place. Don't jump around so much. People, like, when you make a show and you make a story, focus on something for a couple of seconds. Like, it almost has the concept where it wants to just go from one point to another point to another point. I made a joke with one of my friends. I said, you know, it's like it starts at point A and then goes to point 2, where there's the sense that it jumps over all the letters and goes right to a number scale that doesn't exist. It's, you know, it doesn't make sense. It does not. You know, honestly, you can talk about all day maybe theories of how the show does make sense, and you could defend it all day. But if you really nitpick the show, and I'm honest to God, I really don't like nitpicking shows, but when they do stuff like this, it really is one of those things I have to do. You know, you can nitpick all day long and say, oh yeah, well this still has this, and it has a really good story with this. It has the potential, keyword potential, folks, to be an amazing story. It has some interesting lore, it has some interesting concepts, but it's not executed correctly. It's Mayoga all over again. It is all over the place. They do not know what to focus on, when to focus on it, and just when to kind of dial back and not rush through an episode. You can clearly tell that this was probably multiple volumes of the manga thrown into one episode, because honestly, it's just all over the place. And from what I heard in my comments on my episode 8 review, that was what I was expecting to run into. But I was, you know, I had the benefit of the doubt. I went into this going, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I don't ever listen to someone's comments on about another episode that I have yet to see, because honestly, that is not fair to the episode. It's not fair to the creator to do that. But when a show does something like this, it's understandable why people are telling you what they're telling you. Honestly, I would almost drop the show based off this episode. I'm going to tell people that I would drop the show. I'm coming close to it. But I will continue watching it. I will continue reviewing it every episode. I will try to be on time with them. You know, I know they're coming out pretty late, but it's just more so my scheduling and what I have to do on the day. But honestly, horrible episode, a horrible flashback. It took BB's character, which, you know, was the hope that they had some good stuff from his past, and they just kind of butchered it, honestly. Just terrible all around. Anyways, guys and girls, I hope, you know, you don't mind me ranting about something. You know, it's rare that I rant about an episode. It's very, very rare that I do this to you guys, because I realize that you're not here for rants. You're more here for reviews. But unfortunately, when stuff like this happens, I kind of have to rant. But anyways, I will talk to you later. Have a great night, everyone. Bye-bye.